Thank you. Okay. Volunteer. He wants to go. Okay. Come on.
Yes.
No, these are cold reads, friend. These are cold reads. Let's see what happens. Cold reads, friend.
Sometimes.
Okay, hold. So even in this room, we need to be able to hear you without screaming.
Okay.
And that's where you're using your diaphragm. You're not yelling or overexerted, it's just the power is coming from here. So I'm not even speaking loudly, but you can hear and understand, and it's probably that and over a little bit of over articulation too.
Okay.
So,
Sometimes I wonder if I've done enough. If all the marches, the speeches, the sacrifices, if there'll be enough to change the world. I see the faces of the people full of hope, faith.
oh,
Okay. Do I start where I was going or do I start?
sorry for you.
Okay. Sometimes I wonder if I've done enough. If all the marches, the speeches, sacrifices, there'd be enough to change the world. I see the faces of the people full of hope, faith, looking to me for guidance, for salvation. And I wonder, am I the right man for this? Can I lead them to the promised land? Or am I leading them to their doom? The threats, the hatred. It's a heavy burden to bear. And I am just a man after all, flesh and blood, fears and doubts. I dream of a better world where my children can be judged by the content of their character, not the color of their skin. But that dream feels so far away, like a distant mountaintop that I'll never reach. And yet, I can't turn back. I cannot rest because I believe. I believe in the power of love and the strength of unity. I believe that even in the darkest night, the dawn will come. So I press on with all the strength I have left, hoping, praying that it will be enough.
What I said, hold into it. All right, whether it's hold into it. Okay, so this is from a lovely play called The Mountaintop that I will be in February. And so we already know who this is. You know who Jimmy, right? And so in this, in the way that a lot of those leaders spoke, there was so much passion. No matter what they said, like there was passion, and it was a simmering because they were looking for the promise, they were fighting for something, and even if I had given him the directive of he was practicing in front of his 3-year-old, even that, like you want to pour into him, right? And so like it has to live somewhere, that thing. It has to, like something else has to be feeding it, it's festering, and it's spilling out in a way. And so like, shake it out and like sometimes I wonder, like, you know how much work this man did? That first, sometimes I wonder if I've done, if he's done enough, Martin Luther King, if you've done enough, but like he, and so like, what does that mean? What does that feel like? not resting, but like you're standing on
Okay.
the alternate
This is hard.
feet. It's okay. And there, look, you guys, there's no wrong in here. There are only choices.
Okay.
Yeah. And so honey, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. I have embarrassed myself so many times for the audience. I mean, shoot, probably like as early as like last year. I go into places and like there's, because you, like I said, you already don't have the job, whatever it is you're auditioning for, you already don't have it. What do you have to lose, right? And I learned something every time I go into those places. I learned something about myself, about like what that environment is. And then a lot of times, you don't even know, people will lift you up because the people behind the table, they want you to be the one. And make a choice that, you know, the other 15 people didn't make. Be loud and wrong, but be memorable, right? So like, don't just rest in whatever it is, but like go for it, like every single time. So like, be loud, be wrong, be stupid, be ugly, you know, all those things. That's some of the things that we bottle in when we're performers, young performers, old performers. We get in our ways and like we are scared of, we overcorrect ourselves. And like, where's the fun in that, right? And so like have fun in this. Like, how often do we get to be MLK Jr., right? And so like, just, yeah, let it loose. Be loud and wrong. Yeah, that's everybody. Be loud and wrong. So your first choice, be loud and wrong. Whatever it is, whatever that feels like, whatever that looks like.
You got it, Queen.
Yeah.
Queen is first.
Actually, King, come on, Martin. He's
I mean-
playing the King right now. Literally.
Sometimes, I wonder if I've done it. If all the marches, the speeches, the sacrifices, if there'll be enough to change the world. I see the faces of the people, full of hope, faith, looking to me for guidance, for salvation. And honestly, I wonder sometimes, am I the man for this? Can I lead them to the promised land, or am I leading them to their doom? The threats, the hatred, it's a heavy burden on me. I am just a man, flesh and blood, with fears and doubts. I dream of a better world where my children can be judged by the content of their character, not the color of their skin, but that dream feels so far away. Like a distant mountaintop that never been reached yet. I can't turn back. I can't rest. Because I believe. I believe in the power of love and the strength of unity. And I believe that even in the darkest night, the dawn will come. So I press on with all the strength I have left. Hope, pray, there will be.
That was lovely. There was defeat in there. There was frustration. There was doubt. Like, it was so beautiful. What I want you to give yourself permission to do is stoke your fire. Like, when you go home, get you a scene. Like, get this scene. I'll send this to you, or another, or something else that, like, I'll send you a boyhood scene. Someone who is unafraid to be wrong and you know, visceral, right? And so like, I want that to come from the pits of your stomach and just yell, exclaim. Let yourself let it go. Yeah?
Thank you.
Nice. Volunteer.
Yes, I'm there.
You slay. You slay. Oh, Queen.
Sorry. What's it called? We're not telling you. We'll tell you after.
going to school, of playing with my friends. The dreams are for the innocent, and my innocence was stolen. Taken by men with guns, with power, with no mercy. They turned me into something I don't recognize. A survivor. But surviving comes at a cost. I've seen things, I've done things that no child should ever have to do. And each day, I lose a piece of myself. My laughter, my joy, my hope, gone. Replaced by fear, by anger, by burning need to escape. But where can I go? This war has consumed everything. My home, my family, my future. I am just a girl, but I carry the weight of a lifetime. And I wonder, will I ever be free? Will I ever find the pieces of myself that I lost? Or am I doomed to wander this battlefield forever, a ghost of the child I once was? I don't know. All I know is that I must keep moving, keep fighting, keep surviving, because that's all I have left.
This is from a show called Eclipse. Is anyone familiar with that?
Mhm.
Oh my gosh, it is. Okay, so and so these young girls, West African, I think, war breaks out, and they're literally just trying to survive. And so some of them turn into fighters and protectors and like all these things, and it's just, it's gut-wrenching. And so, yeah, so she starts off like, you know, a dream, right? A dream. And so, yeah, Liberia. Yeah, like what is that? What does it feel like?
It feels like a girl who like wants so badly, like clings to like the tiny bits of her childhood and her innocence that she had before the war broke out, but is also like realizing and acknowledging that she can never be that person.
Yeah, it's lost. Or, you know, from what we'll say it's lost. And so she knows that at the beginning, but like she details out these beautiful things, and at the end, it's like, I know that that's no longer my reality, but this is who I am. And so let's try again and drive her a little bit. And so this can be, you can drop that.
It's like
so
the, it's
start,
like
yeah.
the
And so like, let us take us on her journey, all of the things that she's witnessed and experienced in a short time, all the unsaid things, take us through that. Yeah, and you should have that, maybe hear you in this space.
I used to dream of being a teacher, of going to school, of playing with my friends. But dreams are for the innocent. And my innocence was stolen from me.
Oh. And one thing I do want to note that she's doing, that you don't know this role, right? It's one of those techniques that I was talking about, like when you have to do cold reads, if you go in for a callback or an audition and they have to read. She's taking the line, she's taking as much as she can, and she's delivering it so we're connecting. And then she goes back and gets some more and comes back up. Like, that is a technique that takes work, and so practice that when you're at home in playtime. Oh, that's what I was thinking. That was in the note.
overtaken by men with guns, with power, with no mercy. They turned me into something I didn't recognize. A survivor. But surviving was at a cost. I've seen things, done things that no child should ever have to do. And each day, I lose a piece of myself. My laughter, my joy, my hope, gone. Replaced by fear, by anger, by a burning need to escape. But where can I go? This war has consumed everything. My home, my family, my future. I am just a girl, but I carry the weight of a lifetime. And I wonder, will I ever be free? Will I ever find pieces of myself that were lost? Or am I doomed to wander this battlefield forever, a ghost of the child I once was? I don't know. All I know is that I must keep moving, keep surviving, keep fighting, because that is all I have left.
Come on, Matt. Yes, it is. Read the show, right? I mean, it's a dire comment, so you have to look at that.
Kind of, like while I was reading it, like in the middle, sometime in the middle of like performing it, and I was reading it, I was like, she sounds familiar.
What did you guys notice the second time that you didn't notice the first time during her first read? First and second reads, is there anything that you noticed?
I noticed that there was more emphasis. I don't know. Whenever I hear people reading monologues, I feel like they can skip over when the character is asking a question that's rhetorical. And I like that she put emphasis on the question that was asked and they gave it a little pause as if she was waiting for an answer from her seat partner. But obviously there's not. So she just kept going. And I like that. That was very.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought she took her time a little bit on this one, because she really broke it down.
Mhm.
Literally every line seemed like it was a different emotion because she was saying different things.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, and it kept it interesting, and that's what, like, some of these August Wilson monologues and, shit where they go on forever and ever, like, you have to find variants, like, you cannot be a one-trick pony with those types of words, because I've tuned out. It's not interesting, I don't care as much, I don't know, like, do you understand what you're saying, do you know, do you hear what you're saying, all of that, right? Good note for these two. A lot of actors, I was a judge at a college, and they were doing their season auditions for some of their shows. And one thing that I noticed with, maybe a third of the students is they would come in and wouldn't quite, and I get nerves and all that stuff, I've won up many times. I've forgotten lines and all of that. But one important thing to know is your beginning, your middle, and your end. If you can begin that thing strong and end that thing strong, you got it. Even if you go up, like, figure out, like, you should know your scene so well that even if you forget the words, you know the intention. And so you can get to the end because you know the intention, right? And so like that's one of the most important things. Finish strong and stronger. Yeah. Next up, volunteer. Come on, darling. So you know this one. You know the little.
I know the character.
Okay.
Do you know what it's like to always be the best? To always have to be perfect? Everyone expects me to shine, to be the brightest star in the room. And I am. But sometimes, I just want to be me. Not the perfect, flawless Paulina they all see, but the real me. The one who has fears, who doubts herself, who sometimes wants to cry. But I can't. Because if I do, they'll see that I'm not as perfect as they think. They'll see that I'm just a girl like them. And I can't afford that. Not now, not ever. So I put on my mask, I smile, and I pretend. Because that's what they need. That's what they want. And I'm too afraid to let them see the truth.
This is from a little play called School Goes. So the afternoon goes play. Good job, Jonathan. Okay, and so Paulina she's one of those characters that everybody wants to play, right? Because she gets to be the thing, but then there's all this stuff underneath. Those are the best characters to play because it's so, you can go in so many different directions. And so the first thing that you ask, do you know what it's like to always be the best? Your monologue is not even about going to be about that, right? But like, that's the character that you put on for the world to see, right? To always be perfect, shine and rise from. And I am.
Yeah, because I watch
I am. But then there's a shift right here. That's actually what you are. Yeah. And so like be all that what that is. And then let it fall off. You know that you see that. You see that and you're not like it. And so that's one of your internal struggles. And you kind of detail that out to us, I guess. So let's
see
say.
each other. Do you know what it's like to always be the best? To always have to be perfect? Everyone
Okay,
expects.
oh. So your first line, because you already know the line.
Yeah.
Yes? And so, present yourself. Say the line. And then you can go, because you already know. And then you can pick up the next thing. But start off confident. So we need to see your face, see your eyes. I'm trying to remember.
Do you know what it's like to always have to be the best? To always have to be perfect? Everyone expects me to shine, to be the brightest star in the room. And I am. But sometimes, I just want to be me. Not perfect, flawless Paulina they all see, but the real me. The one who has fears, who doubts herself, who sometimes just wants to cry, but I can't. Because if I do, they'll all see that I'm not as perfect as they think. They'll see that I'm a girl, just like them. And I can't afford that. Not now, not ever. So I put on my mask, I smile, I pretend. Because that's what they need. That's what they want. I'm too afraid to let them see the truth.
Nice. I love her. And so, and I'll send all of these monologues with the rest of that stuff too, so you can like revisit some of these. Because of what I want you to work on and allow yourself to do is go. So friends, you make discoveries when, and this is, I learned this in a class a long time ago. I think it was probably I was in college, so it's a really long time ago. And it was like you have a choice and you go all the way left. And it's not the right one, but along that path, you've discovered so many things. And so like the bigger and grander that she is, like, it's probably not the, but like you discover things, you discover, you know, ticks and talks all throughout that thing. And then that way you get, there's a distinction, a separateness that happens with these two characters that she's playing. One is herself.
And what is Paulina?
Mhm.
Yeah, it's like, being
Yeah.
a drag.
Right. And so, but the audience needs to be able to distinguish when she's being Paulina. And when she's yeah. And so like, even if you're not speaking the words, they need to be able to know which character that is. And you just detail